Gardening with children can be so rewarding. Do you know how to get started? With me today is Deborah Freeman, Family Nutrition Program Assistant. She's here to tell us how to do it. She's worked with many children who garden. Welcome, Deborah.
Hi, Celeste.
So you have worked with children who love to garden. How do you spark that interest in kids?
Well, you would think that it's hard, but it's not, because they are just naturally curious, and you tell them what's about to happen, you start to explain it to them, and they are just so excited about doing it. They love to cause things to grow, see things happen.
And a lot of times, if we're talking about vegetable gardening, they love to eat. So when they get to harvest, that can be a big reward too.
That is really a good point, because typically we don't have a problem getting children to eat fruit. But veggies, that's another story. And we find that children are more likely to eat the vegetables that they grow than not. So if you have a picky eater, one way to get them excited about eating vegetables is to start gardening with them.
I have to tell you a funny story about that. My son, one time we were gardening when he was younger, and he ate a carrot, dirt and everything, the carrot, the green part, everything. And he said, "That's great, Mom. This is great. Do this again," So I noticed you bought a lot of books here. Are some of the books helpful?
Yes. There are some ideas in there to use to help get children excited. Growing is a long time, and there's not always something to look at or be excited about, but if you can perhaps come up with crafts or different activities to keep children interested and excited during the whole growing season, that's good, and there are books to help do that.
So you'll have to tell me your secret. How do you get the kids to do the jobs that aren't as much fun, like weeding and...
Well, okay, there really is no secret. That's a hard job. But you can have a scavenger hunt. You can have them look for bugs, and the bugs might be under the weeds, and you might have to pull out the weeds to see if they're there, or look for worms and dig around a little bit. There are ways to be inventive, to get them excited about it. And in the beginning, they're not going to want to do the hard work, but as they see the importance of it and the joy that they get from gardening, then as they get older, it's easier to get them to pull the weeds.
So what would be your most successful tip that you would suggest for people who are trying to get started?
I would say to determine the project for yourself. You decide how much time you have, and then let that be the determination for how much space, what kind of garden you want to use. If you have a big yard but don't have very much time, then you don't want a big garden. But if you have just a sunny spot on the patio and a few minutes, then you can still have a garden. You can use your container gardening and get the children involved that way. It doesn't have to be a huge project. It can be a small project that can cause that excitement and hubbub in your house, and it can help you sow the seeds that you're going to harvest.
Well, Deborah, you've given us some good tips about how to get started planning.
Gardening with children is so much fun.
Thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me, Celeste. It was fun.
It is fun. Kids love to play in the dirt. Let them plant some vegetables and watch that magic happen.